All right, we live, folks. Let people stream on in here if they are. Let's see. Gonna go ahead and share this on the Philip V. Prentice page, and then we'll get rolling. Oh, my man Dennis is messaging here. All right. Hopefully Dennis finds us. Let's see. There we go. All right. Yeah, I made up with Dennis here. Dennis is going to be on with us tonight. Let's see. Let's go ahead and share this. We live. All right, let's do this. All right, what's up, Turtle Riders? Hello, welcome to Uncle Turtle Boy's Late Night Garage Podcast. This episode brought to you by our good friends over at Garage Doors Plus in Quincy. If you're in the market, guys, for a new garage door, or you have an old garage, right, that you have to get out of the car, open it up like a moron, turn the key, lift it up, get back in the car, drive your car into the garage, get back out, reach up, close it down. Next thing you know, you're injured. Time to get with the times, folks. Call up our friends at Garage Doors Plus in Quincy. You can find them online at gdplus.com. My buddy Chris will come over to your house that day. It doesn't matter where you live. He'll pretty much go anywhere except for Coleraine. No one wants to go to Coleraine. And he will come over, or one of his people will at least, and they will give you a quote that is so fair, you're going to have no choice but to hire him. He's going to install it that day. It's going to be quality. You're going to get a nice little clicker. Boom, you're going to press that button. The door is going to go up. Boom, you press it. It goes down. Boom, Garage Doors Plus in Quincy. It'll change your life forever. All right, so I am here tonight to talk about a few things, definitely that are on the agenda. I kind of like to leave it up to you guys to kind of set the format. I will read the comments. For those of you following on the podcast, listening on the podcast, we do this live every day on YouTube. So basically, it gives people a chance to interact with me. Since I don't have a co-host with this, you guys can ask questions, whatever you want. We don't have like a call online or anything. It's just a lot easier. By the way, any recommendation? I love this shit. This is what my favorite part about Turtle Boy is the podcasts, right? The interaction with you people and doing this shit, basically. I love it. I would like to do this more. If I made enough money off it, advertising-wise, to justify the time put into it, I would do it more often. So, I would greatly, if you guys, have any ideas, I'm down for it. Obviously, I have a limited budget. Why it looks so bootleg in here. A lot of people have complained about. I got a nice email yesterday from a woman who had some tips for me. Some of them I took under advisement. One thing I'm definitely going to try not to do as much is swear. I go back and I listen to these. I'm like, man, I swear a lot. That's not a good example for my kids. So I'm definitely going to try to cut down on the swearing. It's not good. It takes away from, what I'm attempting to achieve here, the overall message I'm sending. By the way, if you haven't shared this already, I've shared this on the Philip V. Prentice Facebook page. So if you want to share that, let people know. We're live. We're over here. We're doing our thing. Let them know. Yeah, people are saying that you can do super chats and people can donate live, but like YouTube takes a huge cut of that. Like I've heard it's kind of like a big scam. But yeah, so Richard French says his idea is a YouTube Turtle Boy blog episode. I'm not sure what that means. Is it like Turtle Boy bedtime stories? Like I read you guys a blog like I would read my kids? Is that what I'm understanding that would be? But yeah. Anyway, so basically, I'd also like to remind you guys, if you guys want to support what we do, those new shirts came out, right? The Blogging Ain't Easy one. So check those out. No, not Blogging Ain't Easy. It's I didn't choose the blog life. The blog life chose me. Some people have pointed out Patreon on there. I'm not really sure what we would do with Patreon. I've thought about creating like a turtle club, like a lot of like, I don't know, but it's like it's something I always said I wouldn't do, right? The whole like the Barstool Gold thing, ESPN Insider thing. When you go to their website and you can't click on, you can't watch a certain thing unless you remember this, which obviously costs a couple bucks a month, etc. I've thought about doing that, but I just feel like I want the content to be widely distributed. Maybe we could do something. If you guys ever have any ideas, I'm down for anything pretty much. So feel free to send in your ideas, etc. I'm also looking right in the future. Swearing in the moment. I agree with Lisa Marie. Swearing in the moment is genuine, but I like listen. I go back and I listen to it. It's like I swear a lot, especially the F word. I say that I had no idea I say the F word so much. Like I go back and I'm like, oh man, if my 4-year-old daughter heard this, I'd be in big trouble. You know what I mean? I'd be in timeout. Wouldn't be cool. So I got to work on that, especially since my kids are getting to an age like right now where it's like, they're becoming impressionable. They know what Turtle Boy is. They don't know they don't understand what I do for a living. They understand it involves a computer. But yeah, Brett's still allowed to swear. He is what he is. I can't control Brett. I would never try to. But they understand. They always ask. They know Turtle Boy. They see the picture of Turtle Boy. Turtle Boy. They just know it's Turtle Boy. They don't understand what Turtle Boy is. But down the line, that will come up, right? Like I listen to the Minahan podcast every day, pretty much, right? And it's so much better when you have another person there to bounce crap off of, right? It can't be Brett every day, right? And what I want to ideally do is have like a Turtle Boy radio thing, right? An alternative to radio. I don't listen to the radio anymore. I haven't listened to the radio since Minahan got kicked off, or Jerry Callahan got kicked off at EEI. I literally never listen to it. All I do now in the car, I don't know about you people. I don't know if this is a trend, if it's just me. All I listen to now is podcasts. That's it. It's it. And YouTube. I go on YouTube. I watch the Steven Crowder show. I watch various videos. I watch little 10-minute clips of shit here and there. Or I just listen to a podcast in the car. That's it. It's so much easier. Right? No commercials. Some commercials. But, I would like to ultimately have like a Turtle Boy morning radio show. Right? Like, how cool would that be? If every... we do the show on Tuesday and Thursday, and then Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, we had Turtle Boy Radio from like 7 to 8:30 or something. Where we just talked about whatever, politics, like some stuff that we don't normally talk about on the blog. Because let's be honest, the live show is ultimately a recap, right, of the blogs, right? There's no new content on the live show. So I would like to do that. Just shoot the shit with somebody, talk about what's in the news, a genuine morning show on YouTube, right? So people are saying, get on the radio. It's like, well, you don't have to get on the radio anymore. YouTube is more popular than the radio. You can just put all the content on YouTube. The downside of that, of course, is that this freaking tech company owned by douchebags ultimately gets to control whether or not you get to speak or not. And I'm not a big fan of that. So it's a tough one either way. People are saying history podcasts. I would love to do some history stuff down the line. I was disappointed in that This Day in History blog that I started in like February that just bombed, right? I like doing it, but like literally no one read it. Like 5 people read it. So I couldn't justify the time being put into that. So, Sirius XM, people are saying, I don't know, how do you even get on Sirius XM? Like, do you have to just let anyone on there? Like, I assume it costs money. I don't know how that works. I would love to take calls, but need a phone number for that, right? I suppose we could call. Why don't we do that? I'll take calls. If anybody wants to call in this episode and talk, right, call up on Facebook, Philip V. Prentice, right? Call up on Facebook, Philip V. Prentice, message me, and we will make it happen. All right? So, anyway, let's talk about some shit here. First of all, it's back to school season. I did a blog today. I was going through my old phone. I was looking for something, and I found something else today, basically. Okay, this pisses me off. This pisses me off right now. I see Josh Abrams is coming up in my recommended feeds. I don't follow this douchebag. and he's coming up in my recommended feeds. He's live right now with 500 people. 500 people. This douchebag's got 500 people on his live show. How the hell does this guy have 500 idiot? 2,400? Are you kidding me? This idiot is in Chicago right now. The biggest cop block douchebag extraordinaire. What's he up to? Let's see what he's saying here.
Accountability for all. Going to let everybody file in, and we're just a few minutes
He's
early,
in Chicago
and we're here
right
with
now.
the big one, folks. This is the audit, right? This is the whole reason that we came to Chicago.
He's in Chicago, auditing the Chicago police. Unbelievable.
Because, man, we came out here to wipe them down. This is a constitutional wipe down.
Oh my God! I can't believe he afforded to go out there. Like, this is a true miracle that this douchebag is able to afford a plane ticket. I don't understand it. It is what it is. He's honestly the biggest douchebag ever. We're probably going to talk more about him on live on Saturday because we've profiled him before. And I swore, guys, I'd never talk about this douchebag again after he said he was going to come on our show, right? After he claimed that I was going to be arrested for allegedly assaulting him by throwing him a freaking bottle at him. He made it all up. He called the cops, filed a false police report, all this stuff. And he said he'd come on to talk about it, and then he bitched out, right? He blocked me. So I told him, I said, I'm enough with this douchebag. I'm not playing his games. But he's so enraging. He's so terrible. When you watch that video, he's going after, not just going after cops now. You won't have to go after cops, you're still a douchebag for that, right? You're going after DTA employees. You're literally going after the freaking food stamp employees, right? They're going in there, right? What's next? Where are you going next? Where are you going next? The battered women's shelter? Gonna go audit them too? He's going in there filming people who I assume, like, don't get it twisted. I'm not against, with all the food stamp Friday blogs, I'm not against giving assistance to poor people. I'm against people selling food stamps on Facebook. So I assume that people who are on food stamps, most of them are using it for the right reasons, as a crutch towards the next step of the ladder, right? And it's slightly embarrassing to be seen there. And this douchebag just rolls in unemployed with his iPhone filming. Why? Just because he can. And I love that video yesterday. It's a long video. Go back and watch it, the Abrams video. But what I loved about the Malden chief of police is that he just killed him with kindness. And it turned into like a therapy session in there. It was a beautiful thing, guys. I don't know if you saw it, but go back. Watch bits and pieces of it. It's like 35 minutes long. Again, listen in the car, instead of the freaking radio. The cop basically just destroys him by analyzing his soul, if you will, right? He starts talking to Abrams and he says, sure, you have a right to do this, sure, but why? Why would you want to? You don't care about people's feelings? That doesn't matter to you? And I know I always say feelings don't matter. And with that, and your feelings are hurt by it, that doesn't matter, right? That doesn't matter. What does matter, right, is when you're going into a place and filming people who are, poor, who are struggling, who aren't doing anything wrong, right? And they're just like, I know you have a right to film me. Can you not? Like, please, thank you. I appreciate that. That's all, right? Just common decency. He's got none. He's got no decency, these people. Now, I really hate giving him attention. I really hate even talking about him. So let's see what you guys are saying. I just loved, go back and watch what the Malden police chief, who somehow, by the way, has half an hour to give up. Malden's like a city, right? It's not like a small town. How is the chief of police able to just give up half an hour of his day to go down to the DTA office, right? To deal with some douchebag from Stoneham, of all places. Give me a break. Slumming it in Malden. What a chode. Yeah. All right, so next thing I want to talk about. That is the situation here that happened in Haverhill the other day. Because there's an update on this story. So this, we call her Hogzilla, destroys Haverhill Chinese restaurant with unverified post accusing them of harassing special needs people she was supposed to be watching. So basically, we've seen this before. It's like kind of like Pumpkin Spice Mafia, except more destructive. Let me just read this to you. took a group of special needs clients to lunch here. Man, I'm assuming the owner started screaming at us because he said they were there bothering a customer. Customer reassured us that was not bothered at all. And as we were leaving, the owner continues to yell at my clients I asked him to please stop. As they are scared, he follows us to our vans and yelled to never come back to his business. Worst experience ever. My heart hurts to hear how he treated people with disabilities. Lucky corner. Oh, goodness gracious. So, she can't even spell. I'm sorry. This is a woman from the Lawrence area, I believe, who can barely speak English, doesn't understand the difference between where and were, going on here sharing a story that sounds horrifying on people. Not horrifying, but problematic, right? You know, picking on people who are mentally retarded, kicking them out, that's not cool, obviously. However, we don't know if any of this happened. There's no evidence whatsoever this happened. Zero. It's just a stranger posting on Facebook, right? For all we know, they could have been rude to her, right, personally. Or who knows? Quite frankly, at these Chinese restaurants, like the Chinese people, they don't play, man. People in Chinese restaurants that own them, they don't play. I don't know if you guys know that. I don't mess with people who own Chinese restaurants. You go down to the Tin Tin buffet, back in the day, the only one who spoke English was the 11-year-old girl, right, working the register. That's it. That's it. Because she's the only one who speaks English. She's sitting there doing her math homework, doing her thing. Right? But the other guy, he would just yell. The owner, when any time you saw him, he would just be yelling. And if you do something wrong, he's gonna let you know about it. Because that's just the culture, man. They don't deal with nonsense in Chinese culture. Shenanigans. So who knows what really happened here? There's a million and one thing. I'm sure the guy was not polite to her. I have no doubt about that. But we don't know the circumstances. So bottom line, as a responsible adult, I don't jump to conclusions, and neither should anyone else. What happens? It gets shared 8,000 times. Of course. It's no longer available. She has since taken it down since we have publicly shamed her. And once again, public shaming works in reverse as well as in regular. So there we go. So you look at this chick, tattoos, dog filters. I don't mean to stereotype, but I do. And so I will stereotype. I don't trust anyone who uses dog filters or has tattoos in general and can't write in plain English. So I don't know if this happened or not. All I know is there's no evidence whatsoever. And the message of this blog wasn't that the Chinese restaurant was innocent in this. The message of the blog is quite simply that it's not okay to form mobs to try to destroy businesses based off of Facebook posts. That's not healthy. That's no way to live, right? That's no way to go through life. It's dangerous, right? It could happen to anyone. There's literally no evidence. And then people go there and they're just giving them all 1-star reviews. This stuff matters, folks, right? I wish it shouldn't matter. And Facebook and Google should be responsible for this when people leave Facebook reviews. If they're going to offer this, they should be responsible for fake reviews. Because it's their platform. And they are given immunity from the government because of their status as a platform. Well, you need to monitor your platform if that's the case. Someone else says he spoke with the manager, completely disputes it. We don't know. I'm sure the truth is somewhere in between there. So, anyway, the place that employs this woman, I think it's called like OP something. What's it called? OP something or other, right? I don't know why it's not coming up. Anybody know the name of this place? I had it. Somebody tagged me in it before. I get tagged in a lot. And as you can see, Fupa Computer's a little bit slow here. All right. So, anyway, basically the place that employs her came out and said, oh, the Chinese restaurant has apologized. They said that as first generation, okay, look, I'm really distracted by this. I want to see this. This is great. Shayna has her child putting the baby to sleep by watching Turtle Boy live on a big screen. That's fantastic. Hey, Shayna. This place comes out, and they're basically like saying that the Chinese restaurant admitted wrongdoing. That they are going to come in there and teach them sensitivity training on how to deal with people with special needs. Now, is this true? I haven't seen the Chinese restaurant do that in writing. I don't know. If it is true that they did do this, that is a forced confession, people. That is not a legitimate confession. When you send a mob of 10,000 people to come and give your business 1-star reviews, and then the business says, sorry, I'm sorry, that is not an apology that I take literally, that I take seriously. That is an apology done out of pure personal relations, right? That's it. Public relations. That's it. So I don't know if I believe that. And I would say more importantly, I wish I could think of this place. I'll do a follow-up on it, I'm sure. But I think it's so irresponsible for this place that they should be monitoring their employees' Facebook posts. Like that used to happen to me all the time as a teacher, right? We used to always have our freaking Facebook. I got in trouble for it, for crying out loud. If I'm going to get in trouble for it, everyone else should too. That's my theory. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. So I just feel like they should have addressed it with this employee and said, look, you can't go around as a representative of our business or of our company, whatever, that helps special needs people and encourage mobs to attack businesses based on your unverified anecdote. Sorry, that's not okay. So that's my thoughts on that. I don't know if you guys feel otherwise. See what people are saying in the comments. Current event. All right. So anyway, so this is I don't know if your crotch roots are back in school yet. My wife starts school tomorrow. It's her first day in the public schools. I think the Wachusett school started today. Worcester Public maybe starts tomorrow. I don't remember exactly. But I remember this day. It's been 5 years, guys, since I taught. It seems weird. And I don't know about you guys. I hated the first day of school. Like, I freaking hated it. It was like my first day at Shepherd Hill I looked forward to very much. First day overall. Because I was nervous as shit. I didn't know what to expect. I was excited. And kids are all nervous too. Teachers are all nervous. It's an interesting day. But I like to just get in the groove, right? And so when I was teaching back in the day, I like to come in there, and once I get in the groove with the lesson. So the first day of school would be like this. Come in there. I had a freshman. I wrote a blog about this today. You can read it too. I'd have a freshman homeroom, right? And you come in there and you try to make small talk with them. But you're talking to kids, right? 14-year-old kids. Anybody have 14-year-old kids out there? They have no personality whatsoever, right? I've never met, like, age 14 is probably the driest personality human beings have ever had in their life. You get them in there, and you're just time killing. You spend like an hour and a half going over friggin' fire drill procedures, all this stuff. You're not even my students. I'm only going to see you during homeroom stuff to give you report cards and stuff like that. And it just got awkward. You know what I mean? I'm like, after a while, you try to make conversation with these kids. Like, hey, strangers, you guys have a fun summer? Ooh, who are your teachers? Oh, you're going to like him. He's cool. You got a good teacher. And then they just don't respond. Right? It's like that happen all the time. Just don't respond. It's just like so awkward because these kids are 14. They're so freaking nervous, man. You guys remember first day of freshman year of high school? I almost shit my pants. I was so nervous, right? So like they're freaking out in their heads, and it's the first time the towns of Dudley and Charlton have been combined, so they don't even know half the school, and they're getting in there, and it's just like this adult is trying to talk to them. They have no interest in talking to me. They don't want to be the guy that is seen speaking to the teacher and befriending the teacher. Nobody wants to do that. It sucks. And then you get your regular classes in there, and you hand out the books, the syllabus, you go over it. Oh my God, going over the syllabus. Ugh, kill me now. It's just like, okay, guys, here's what we're gonna learn about all year. Like, and how can you give us? How can I be like, okay, here's what we're gonna learn about all year. We're gonna learn about World War II. Well, what are we gonna learn about it? We're gonna learn this and this. But I'm gonna teach you that in March. So why the hell am I telling you this now? It's like, just take the freaking syllabus home and just sign it, and none of you are actually going to read it anyway. So, but you had to do it. You just had to go through the syllabus. Then you got to hand out the books, do all that crap, talk about procedures. It takes like a week to get class started. So then you finally start teaching, right? And the kids, at first, I was a hard ass, as you guys know if you read the book. And I held these kids accountable because I actually wanted them to learn. And a lot of the kids, they came in from sophomore year. No offense, sophomore teachers, if you're listening right now, right? But you were too easy on these kids. So they were, a lot of kids did redos on, they did poorly on stuff, a lot of projects, a lot of like multiple choice. And here I come in and I'm like, oh, we're going to write a lot, guys. There's going to be essays and shit. You're going to learn history in this class. And they're like, what the hell? And the first, they're so used to other teachers, and then they're so used to getting B's and skirting by. Then the first time they get a quiz in my class or a test, it's like, boom, 50. Like, what the? They've never gotten anything lower than a C their whole life. Now they're just failing, and they're freaking out. And so it sucks, right? But they all adjust. Most of them adjust. The winners adjust. And they figure out what you're talking about, and they come into class, it really lights a fire into their ass the first time they don't do well. You learn more in life from failure than you do from anything else, guys. I'm telling you. Failure is the most important life lessons I've ever learned have all involved failing. So I loved actually getting into it, right? Seeing these kids improve. And once I got into the groove and I was teaching my lessons and doing boom, boom, boom. And by the time I was 8 or 9 years in, I'm like, I knew exactly what I was doing. And bang, it was fun, right? But the first day, oh, kill me now. And the only thing worse than the first day was professional development, except there's nothing professionally developed about it, right? It is literally just killing time. Who watched the videos? You guys watch the videos? I'll play some of the videos right here, right now, and you guys can see. How I found these today. Backstory. I have an old iPhone, right, that I used to have 5 years ago, and there is a video of me. It's somewhere out there, and I can't find it. Who remembers when the Worcester Little League kids made the national championship in Little League? It was in 2002. It was awesome. I mean, there was my Little League when I'd played in it like 8 years before. Those kids were all my sister's age. They all lived in the same neighborhood I did. And so it was cool. I was 20 years old at the time and going into my junior year of college, right? And it's cool. Like the Worcester kids made the national championship against Kentucky. They lost. And the team from Kentucky, I don't know if I told you guys the story, but their star player is named Aaron Alvey. And Aaron Alvey pitched a shutout against the Jessup Burkett boys from Worcester, and they won 4-0. He had a home run too. He was dominant. Now, here's the thing about Aaron Alvey. He looks just like me. I'll show you. He's like one of the greatest Little League players of all time. I mean, it was freaky how much this kid looked like me. It was kind of weird. Come on. Yeah, there it is. Yeah. Look at that. Look at that. All right. So anyway, I go down to, they have a parade for these kids in Worcester. And I go down to the parade, except this kid's 12 years old, probably my size and everything. I go down to the parade, and, oh, this picture looks a lot like me there. Anyway, I go down to the parade, and all these people keep coming out on autographs. Next thing you know, Boston 25 News comes over, or Fox 25 News, whatever, and he's like making sure no other reporters are around. He's got the big scoop. I tell him this whole thing about how I'm visiting relatives in Quincy. I made up some town I was visiting, and he does an interview with me. I'm like, they're going to catch on to this. Obviously, they're not going to air this. No, they aired it, right? It was the freaking headline story. So I have that video somewhere. I had that video on my old YouTube account. But when it all went down at Shepherd Hill, right? And when they were on to me about Turtle Boy, I went into like freak out mode and I deleted a lot of shit. And that was one of the things I had on the blog. I did a blog about the Little League World Series and I had a video of me on there. And I see a video of, yeah, let's see. This must be the blog I did on it. I'm assuming the video is now gone because I cannot find it anywhere of my interview. That's what I wanted to find. I wanted to find the video of this published August 24th, 2014. And let's see. No, okay. Is it there? Let's see. No, okay, it's not there. Not there. So anyway, it's gone. I couldn't find it. That's why I went looking for it on my phone today. But I couldn't find it. I will find that someday, and I will show you guys, and it will be glorious. However, in the meantime, I found these videos that I took of professional development on the first day before school started at Shepherd Hill. And I know a lot of you guys out there have read the book I Am Turtle Boy that I published. And you know, like the primary villain, like the first few chapters of the book, is my old principal, Mary Perangeli, the most... Just listen to her voice. That's all I got to say. Listen to this if you haven't heard this. Oh, they're going to make us watch a commercial.
Water bottle. Shoes. Dinner. Dinner ready before you are. Craft for the win-win.
Okay, so here we go. Oh God, kill me now.
So, this is all of the points that we were.
Oh, for fuck's sake! It's so terrible. It's like literally looking at a big chart. Check this one out. This is going over freaking biology scores. Listen to this. Let's look at biology. 28%. Advanced. Oh no, the state had 30%. Gotta get our shit together, guys. She's reading off a freaking paper about the number of, like, guys, 28% of students at Shepherd Hill last year scored proficient in biology. However, 30% of students statewide did. So we're a little behind. We need to get that up a little bit. How do I get that up? First of all, we're talking about biology scores. This is the entire faculty. We all had to go to this bullshit, right? You all had to go there and sit through it all. I don't see a single biology teacher in that crowd. Not one, right? I see history teachers, art teachers, all different types of teachers in there. I don't see any biology teachers. Because out of probably 80 teachers in the school, probably 3 or 4 taught biology. That's it. And in the MCAS subject tested area. That's it. But you all had to sit through it, right? And I show you these videos because this is literally all your kid's school cares about. This is what your kids' schools are doing during professional development. They're not actually teaching teachers how to become better teachers, right? They don't actually... If your kid is doing well in school, I got news for you guys. The school doesn't care about them. The school does not care about your kid if they're doing well. The only kids that schools care about are the shitty kids. That's it. The kids who are failing, are on the verge of failing. Those are the only... Every single faculty meeting is dedicated towards talking about what to do with the kid with the D-. How are we going to get him up? What are we going to do? What are you doing as a teacher to fix this? As if it's my fault. That the kid's not passing in his homework, right? Not coming to class prepared, not studying for quizzes, etc. That's my fault. That's a teacher's fault. So you got to perform these miracles. And it's just like, this is everything that is wrong with public education that goes beyond the scenes. You think about, this is a 7-hour day. The things that we could have done. I never had a chance to talk to my fellow colleagues in the social studies department because you're too busy during the day as a teacher. You got one prep period and you're making copies and doing all this bullshit with it. I coach after school. I don't have time to talk to anyone ever. I would have loved the opportunity to collaborate with more experienced veteran teachers and talk about, because there was this one guy, Chris Stowe, who was like the best teacher ever, but I never had a chance to talk to him because we were both teaching all day, right? And if we had a chance to, like, or how about this? Shepherd Hill and Tantascwa, or Shepherd Hill and Millbury or Auburn or whatever, the social studies departments there have a joint professional development day in which we exchange new ideas, right? What worked for your kids? This worked for my kids. You should try this. You should try that. Stuff that actually enhances education. That doesn't happen in schools. The only thing that happens in public schools is this bullshit, right? Is a boring principal. And these are the kind of people that become principals, by the way. boring, dreadful individuals that cannot teach. They go into administration because that's the kind of people they are. They're climbers. And they love this shit. They love graphs. They love to sit there and be like, guys, statewide, we need to get this up. You know what that means? It means teach to the test, right? It means if we do this, then I could become a superintendent, right? If our data improves. It's literally the only thing that matters. So it really pisses me off. And I look back at it and I'm like, man, that's the shit that's the reason I wanted to quit. That is the reason I literally quit teaching, is because this ain't teaching, man. This sucks. And this is the biggest part of the job is this bullshit. So that's why I'm free. Despite all the bullshit I deal with this Turtle Boy, I wouldn't change it for the world, guys. I love what I do now because unlike back then, I love teaching the kids. I loved it. But it was a hostile audience, right? The kids were there because they had to be there. They had no choice, right? You're all here of your own volition. So welcome. I'm happy to have an audience that, and I love, if you're a former student, I love you, believe me. But you know and I know there was other kids in that class that didn't want to be there. Anyway, why don't we talk a little bit about anything you guys want to talk about. If you guys have any questions, let me know. I don't know if you guys are paying attention to politics at all, the presidential race, but Joe Biden's going down, it looks like. And you all see who's in first now. The leading candidate in Vegas. The new favorite to get the Democratic nominee. Pocahontas, baby. I've been calling it since day one. Turtles for Pocahontas. That's what we're calling it. We're all voting for her in March. I'm telling you, that's the one we want. Picture that happening. Picture Trump versus Pocahontas. Game over. It would be the biggest landslide ever. That woman is they underestimate how unlikable they are. Unlikable. Yeah, Warren and Sanders, Laura says, but Warren and Sanders are the same thing. She's just a more articulate version of Bernie Sanders, right? Bernie Sanders just yells and increases his volume and talks about revolution. She has the same policy beliefs as him, but she just says it in a more educated way. She's more educated than him, right? So it will be her, right? Because she's more refined than Bernie. But ultimately, she's so unlikable. You underestimate that, how unlikable this woman is. People in states that matter, they don't like her. She's not going to appeal to them. She appeals in Massachusetts and California and New York. Not appealing so much in Ohio. I'll tell you that much. So she's sinking, and the other one that's sinking is Kamala. And I cannot stand Kamala Harris. This woman, first of all, she's a cop, right? She's not that there's anything wrong with cops, but she is a cop. Kamala's a cop. And this is what she posts on Twitter today. I've never seen something so obnoxious. This must be from some award show last night. And it's some big fat black chick, right? Not that there's anything wrong with that. But she ends up like stripping down. Like, check this out. So as you can see here, there's some heavy hitters here, okay? And so now this, by the way, this is what we have to be like, this is freaking awesome, man. Oh, God, that's beautiful. Look at her drinking milk on stage and just shoving it down her gullet. Oh, girl, you go. You go, girl. Who cares if you're going to die at the age of 55 from a freaking cholesterol freaking heart attack? Who cares? Doesn't matter. You be your true self, girl. Okay? You do you. Speak your truths. It's just, and then Kamala Harris comes out and she's just colorful, vibrant, joyful, unapologetic, powerful. What's powerful about that? It's just because you're fat and you're wearing a freaking skimpy outfit, that's powerful? No. Unapologetic? What does she have to apologize for? Joyful? What singer isn't joyful besides Marilyn Manson? Vibrant? What singer isn't vibrant? Colorful? I mean, sweet Jesus. This is literally just a politician. If this chick wasn't African American and overweight, Kamala Harris would not have tweeted this out. That's what I'm getting at here. She's doing this to pander because Kamala Harris doesn't do well, ironically, with black voters. Joe Biden does well with black voters. She doesn't. Why? Because Kamala Harris is a cop, right? And in general, the Democratic African American voting base does not trust police. So And also, let's be honest, CNN said this, Don Lemon said this, not just me. It's not me. She's not African American. She's Jamaican, right? And her own Jamaican father can't stand her because she's a cop. She sent people to jail for pot. Give me a break. So she was when she called Joe Biden a racist a month and a half ago, she shot up in the polls. Ever since then, she's been plummeting because she's fake as shit. Fake as shit. Elizabeth Warren's fake as shit, though, but at least she's like crazy fake. Like, she actually means some of the shit she says. It's not good, the shit she says, but she actually means it. This is just fake. This is bullshit from her. She still has her stupid tweet up about Jussie Smollett, too. So, couldn't be happier to see her go down in flames. The one I like the most on the left is still Tulsi Gabbard. Andrew Yang has kind of exposed himself to be a charlatan of sorts. I liked him for a while, but I'm Team Tulsi now. She's my favorite on the left, but she has no shot at winning, let's be honest. So it's going to be Elizabeth Warren. She's going to win the nomination. I think it's done at this point. We'll see what happens. Anyway, any questions you guys have, ask them away. Sorry. All right. Who's the gigantic rotten banana? Yeah, exactly. I'm getting a call. Oh, Shane is calling me. Does she want to? If you guys want to call, you can call up. Cops don't want to be aligned with that hoe. Penny packer. I know they don't, but that's the best thing. The worst thing, Democrats hate cops. So the best thing you can do is just call her a cop, and they don't know what to do. They don't know what to do. Have I seen the Gronk press conference? No, but I heard of it. All right, we got to call her. I want to see what she's got to say. Hello.
Yeah, I can't promise you my crotch root isn't going to cry.
Oh, we have a baby with us. How you doing, Shayna? What do you want?
Hold on, I got to mute my TV.
What would you like to talk about?
Have you noticed that the mainstream media already has Pocahontas as their darling? They shit all over Biden every chance they get.
You think so?
Absolutely.
Well,
they pick on him. I mean, not anywhere.
He makes it easy.
Trump's getting it.
Yeah.
But every little slip up, it's on the Today Show, which
I wouldn't call them little slip ups, though. Would you? The Biden shit.
No, I'm just.
It's like,
you know, they're definitely doing it to him more than they're doing it to her. I don't hear anything bad about her.
Well, I'll tell you,
media darling.
You're right, but in fairness, and I hate to defend the mainstream media, right, is that she is sharp. She's not going to do the things he does. He is so his gaffes are like legendary.
Yeah, he needs supervision.
Did you see the quote yesterday from Biden? He goes,
Which?
"I just want to make it clear that I am not losing my mind."
Oh,
if you have to come out and like
endorsement for Joe Biden.
I know, if you have to come out and say that, like, hey guys, just to be clear, I'm not a complete lunatic and I haven't completely lost my mind. Vote for me. Like, what? That doesn't seem like the other day he thought he was in Vermont. He thought Keene was in Vermont. I know it's near the border, but
did you see everybody's face around him?
All
the
my
reporters
God.
around him, they just kind of
Good God. So
hysterical.
Oh yeah, so I agree with you in that I definitely think the mainstream media would prefer her, which would be a huge mistake because she can't win and he can. But we will see.
Yeah, but I mean, do you remember their faces last election? I mean, Christ, they all look like their puppies got run over. They were shocked,
and they've learned nothing.
Their sets decorated. They were ready to go. They're doing it again.
They've clearly now. Let me ask you this: if Trump loses, how will you react, or what would happen? How would you feel?
I'll be gutted.
Well, yeah, I mean.
Oh, especially to any one of these clowns that's running on the Democratic ticket.
What would you do the day after the election if Trump lost?
I mean, gotta go to work. I have shit to do. I'm not gonna act like these morons did during the last election when Trump won. I can tell you that much.
Well, dang, that's kind of what I was getting at there, right? It's just that,
what are you gonna do?
Yeah, it's like if Elizabeth Warren, who I freaking hate, if she becomes president of the United States, I'll just deal with it. You know what I mean? It's like it was the same way I looked at if Hillary won. It's like I was expecting her to win, and it's like when she wins, I'm just gonna deal with it. I mean, how does it really affect my life? It doesn't unless I let it. And that's what I don't understand about these people is like they just let Donald Trump control their freaking life. It's crazy. Yeah.
It's ridiculous. I mean,
Yeah.
what do we do when Obama won? You know what I mean? You just kind of went along with it. I mean, you still hope the country does well.
Yeah.
I'm not going to hope for its demise like
Yeah.
they are, but
Yeah. Now, people are saying, you were wrong about Trump, Turtle Boy. You're wrong about Bernie now. What am I wrong about Bernie? Do you think Bernie has a shot at winning the nomination? Because I sure as shit don't.
I don't think so. Are you asking me now?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Are you patting the baby on the back? Are you burping the baby?
Yes, I am. I'm burping her.
How old's the baby? 2 months?
She is 10 weeks yesterday.
10 weeks. Oh, that's a fun age. She smiling yet?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's a good age. She's going to be rolling over soon. That's the next one. Have fun with that.
Yep.
Yeah.
You'll meet her on Thursday.
Yeah. So, you're going to be there on Thursday?
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
Excellent. Anyone else? I'm going to be at court on Thursday in Milford Court. I can't wait. It's going to be friggin' dope. So it's going to be fun.
I'm looking forward to it.
So David does think Bernie's going to win. I'll tell you why Bernie can't win. His supporters are too crazy. Every time you see a lunatic yelling at someone, they're always wearing a Bernie shirt. He doesn't have any ideas. All he has is yelling revolution. He's just not, and he's too old himself. Too old. So he's not going to do it.
Yeah.
He ain't going to win. So, and plus, let's be honest, him and Elizabeth Warren are the same thing. They're going to attract the same kind of crowd, and she just articulates the points better. So it is what it is. All right. Anybody else have any other questions? We have a comment there. He says that's his baby. Yeah.
Turtle baby.
Turtle baby, yeah. Yeah. How about the Antifa douche giving you a mention in the interview? Yeah. What a loser that guy is. I don't really have much to say about him. All right. All right. Let's see. Laura says, I think Bernie has a better chance than he did. Than who? Trump? I mean, Trump didn't have much of a chance, according to everybody who studies data for a living.
So I remember that night of the election, or that morning actually, they cut to Megyn Kelly, and for some reason, I think she was on CNN. I think she was with Anderson Cooper. And it was kind of surprising that she was with the people she was with, but she said, well, I guess those polls weren't worth the paper they were written on. Yeah, no shit.
Yeah. See, I mean, well, they were, though. That's the thing. It's 3%. So, that's pretty freaking accurate. But they got 3 states wrong. Majorly wrong. They got Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, and Michigan wrong. Ohio was off. North Carolina was off. Those states were off. So I don't think we can just dismiss polls outright, but they do. I think in those states, people are afraid to admit. I don't know if I want to have my house firebombed by Antifa. So, anything else people were saying here? If by chance Bernie won, he would have a stroke and he would die. Oh, that's not good. I don't want him to die.
Who would you prefer to win on that side? Who would you prefer?
Tulsi Gabbard. Well, you know what? No, because actually I take that back, because I want Donald Trump to win, and I want him to go against the person that's most beatable, and so that's Elizabeth Warren. However, if one of the Democrats was to become president of the United States, I would definitely want it to be Tulsi. Definitely. Do you know much about her?
No.
She's a veteran. I mean, she's legit. First of all, she's too hot to be president. Tulsi Gabbard's legit freaking hot. 38 years old somehow. I feel like I'm a year younger than her. It's she's almost president. But she represents rural Hawaii. And, she's not a identity politics Democrat. I'm sure I disagree with her on a lot of crap. But I just appreciate the fact that if you have to get where you are by just calling everyone racist, I have no respect for you. Put it that way. And that's what most of these other clowns pretty much do.
So she's kind of like an old school Democrat, not really the...
Yeah, but different, because, I mean, she's all about she's very similar to Trump in that she's against foreign conflicts completely. Wants to pull out all this shit, focus on America, etc. I'm sure we differ on, economic issues and stuff like that, but on foreign policy, she's pretty good, So we'll see. All right,
it's been fun. I'm going to let somebody else.
All right, cool. All right, put that turtle crotch fruit to sleep.
See you later.
Bye. All right. All right, guys. So why don't we call it a night here unless people have any last minute questions they want to talk about. Latest poll says Warren and Sanders are tied at 20 and 19. And correct, that's true. But there is a 6% margin of error in that poll. I'd like to point that out. They only interviewed 300 people. Do we have to wait for Thursday for more info? Yeah, I mean, I won't have any info on it until the court date happens. That's correct. Imagine she got it. Imagine she got the restraining order. That'd be wild. Yes, like the Tulsi one. Even though Tulsi's not going to win, her greatest contribution so far is just murdering the campaign of Kamala Harris, murdering it in cold blood. That will go down in history as like this random congresswoman from Hawaii just killed the woman who was leading the polls, killed her, and that was the end of her presidential aspirations. That was it. Yes, I do plan on doing it. I will do a live show afterwards. That's for damn sure, at least, if there's no press conference. All right, guys. So it looks like we're about wrapping it up here. Good show. We will see you all on Thursday after my court date. Wish me luck. And we will see you all on Thursday. All right. Peace, Turtle Riders.